hello, Las Vegas. And yes, thank you for tuning in again to the Welcome Home with Monique show. I am your host, Monique Buchanan, your 50 states realtor is what I'm going to start saying, because yes, I can help you not only here in the beautiful Las Vegas Valley, but me and my team can help you nationwide. All right, so keep that in mind. I just helped out a client that moved to Atlanta. He was a KUMV listener. Congratulations, Stephen. He said, Mo, I trust you. I've been listening to you for almost 4 years and I'm moving to Georgia. Can you get me in contact with somebody that you trust out there? Guess what, guys? I sure did. And he got into escrow into a beautiful home within 1 week after talking to me. So congratulations, Stephen, on your beautiful house that you're going to be closing on this month and the ATL. All right, guys. So keep that in mind. Listen, a lot of you guys tune in and you have issues with your credit. That's like the main thing that me and Becky, oh, by the way, my wonderful Becky Coins is on. Say hi, Becky.
Hey there.
So that's the main thing that we hear, guys, is, the struggles with credit. Credit is so finicky. You really don't know what to do because you feel like you're doing the right things, right? You hear the rule about the 30%, then you hear this rule, that rule. You go on TikTok, you hear that. You do your best to do what you think is right for credit, but it's such a finicky thing that if you don't really know what to do, you're just lost. You could be feeling like you're doing all the right things and the credit's barely going up. Or maybe you've decided to sign up with somebody off of, wherever you heard these services, right? And I'm doing quotes in the air. I know you can't see me, but they string you along for that monthly income, right? That monthly payment. And then after you've been with them for like a whole year, sometime in many cases when I talk to clients, their scores barely go up.
No.
10, like maybe 10, 15 points. That's ridiculous, right? So you guys have heard me talk time and time again about my source when it comes to credit repair for my clients. And let me say this, these folks that I'm going to have come on the show, I'm about to introduce them. They fixed even my own credit. So I'm speaking from experience with myself. Not only have I watched them take my clients from a 580 to over a 700 credit score in less than 30 days. Hello, right? Less than 30 days, my clients' lives have changed. Not only were they able to purchase a home, but even after we purchase that home, their whole life has changed now. They are refinancing their cars. Their payments going from $600 a month down to $300 a month because their credit was maybe $620 when they bought the car. Now their credit is $750, $7 plus. You know what I mean? These are things that are going to affect your life going forward, even after you purchase the property. So anyways, let me just say this. I have experienced it myself. Becky has a client as well that has used the same folks. And these people are not TikTokers. They're not people that are just on the internet claiming they can do this and that and writing letters. No, they're the real deal. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and bring them on. How does that sound, Becky?
Sounds fantastic to me.
Rob and Gennaro, are you guys there?
Hey, hello, how you doing?
We're here.
Was that like the longest introduction this side of the Mississippi?
Thank you.
No, but seriously, I just want to say, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to purchase even my own home. Okay, you guys took my credit. And I'll just be straight up with it. My listeners know I keep it 100. I'm an open book. You guys, I had some stuff hit my credit. My credit went all the way down to like 580. And that was recently, people. I bought my house in June. I talked to Gennaro and Rob. What was it? January, I think. And let me tell you something. I was able to purchase my home with a 680 plus credit score quickly because you guys understand that we need these numbers to go up quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
All right. So let's jump into it. Let's start with Mr. Gennaro. Can you explain how are you different from anybody else, you and Rob, than that they've ever went after or used before? How are you guys different from everybody else out there saying, oh, we'll fix your credit?
I think what sets us apart is that we actually use the law. We're not. We sometimes see clients come in and say, well, I saw this on Instagram or TikTok, and none of that is the law.
Right.
And the only way you're going to be successful is to understand and know the law and then see how the law has been violated. One of the things that's so confusing is that, and I think most people have experienced this, if you ever look at your credit report, technically your credit score should be the same on all three credit reporting agencies.
Oh, wow.
Very often it's not. That indicates that there's a discrepancy. The law says you're entitled to a free and 100% accurate credit report. So let's just say, for an example, you co-signed or made a purchase for or helped someone get a car or whatever, and they only reported those payments to 2 of the 3 credit reporting agencies. Can't do that. They're supposed to report to all 3. The 3 credit reporting agencies report to one another.
Okay.
So there's a violation. I think we've probably found several 100,000 data points that are often incorrect. And the reason why they're incorrect is not because they're being malicious.
Right.
It's the system that's called eOscar. eOscar is the software that all companies use. It's a universal software that all companies use to report your credit life, so to speak.
Right.
And the problem with eOscar is that it comes as a secondary product to something else that you may need. So if you're an auto finance company and you want a CRM that will keep up with your customers' database and all this good stuff, eOscar is an add-on tool, but it's not a universal add-on. So the problem with the system is that while eOscar is universal, the way you input information is not. So often that's where the conflicts come in. So it's as complicated as our medical billing system in this country, which is why
we know that's complicated.
One of the laws that Rob and I worked on was the debt parking. It's called medical debt parking. And that was because that's exactly what was happening. You go into a hospital, it's an emergency. In that situation, you don't have the time or the mindset to ask how much is that morphine or which brand are you using.
Right. Absolutely.
In our country, certain insurance companies only insure perhaps the Pfizer version of morphine. Some Bausch and Lomb, some Philips. So if you're in the emergency room and the hospital happens to be out of one of your insurance provider's brands, and they use another, they didn't ask you and you didn't care, you just wanted to stop the pain.
Right.
Well, now you have a medical bill even though you had insurance. So and what happens is hospitals would then park that debt on your credit, and oftentimes it reemerges when you're trying to purchase a home. Well, now, thanks to some of the legislation that we sort of ushered in, that's now illegal.
You know what? I have to stop you. I'm sorry, you guys. Did you guys hear what this man just said within the last? I mean, it was like nugget after nugget. Like,
My jaw's on the ground.
no, seriously. Like, first he started off with all 3 credit reports were supposed to be the same. None of us knew that. And I know my listeners out there are like, what? Really? Right. Then he hits us with, did you know that if you don't find out what kind of morphine they're giving you, you know, this could affect you even purchasing a home or anything. It could affect your credit going forward. You're in pain. You're not thinking, let me ask. But because him and Rob went to bat for all of us, you know, in D.C. to push this this legislative rule forward of debt parking, you know, that's why I have to say, you guys, they are not the norm, okay? They have a hand on creating these laws. And that is a huge difference in anybody else you're going to deal with, okay? So I'm sorry, Becky her mouth was wide open. I'm like, I just have to stop him. I mean, that was a lot of knowledge that you just dropped.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I hope people see the difference and the knowledge that you both have on credit sets you aside from anybody else. But go ahead. Let me shush. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, that's what it is. If you think about it, if I were to come into your home and pull a gun on you and say, sign over your deed, it would be, when we got to court, I'd have a gun to your head, then that contract that we sign is illegal.
Right.
When you're in the back of an ambulance or you're in the emergency room, you're not in your right frame of mind.
Absolutely.
You never ask that question. You never say, hey, how much is that gauze? How much are those bandages?
Right.
You just want the pain to stop. So that debt cannot be, it's basically you're being held hostage.
Right.
So the new law says that anything under $500 or lower can't go on your credit report at all. Secondly, any debt above that, they have to at least attempt to rectify the problem, and they can't do anything for at least 1 year. In that time frame is where we want to go back and pull medical records, find out if there was any kind of insurance snafu, because believe it or not, let's say that same example, they gave you the Bausch and Lomb version of morphine and your insurance company only covered the Pfizer, doesn't make a difference. You were covered for morphine. The brand didn't matter. So we backdate and get things to be covered that way. So that's just one of many. Go ahead.
So on that, are you able to go back for debts that were before that law was passed?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
So for all my listeners that have like medical debt from 8 years ago that's dropped their credit dramatically, you're telling them in many cases you can get a lot of that off because of things like this, of this nature.
Right. Because now elective surgeries are a little bit different. But if you went to the hospital because you were in pain, you were not in your right frame of mind, you never asked that question, you just signed whatever they told you to sign.
Right.
Because you wanted help. So That's exactly what that is. And one of the things, our credit system, right now, it's a mess. It's been a mess for a long time. And our government has done things, and they're trying to do things to make it better and to fix it. But let's be clear. The credit system is designed for the data furnishers. The data furnishers are the people that issue you credit. That's how Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian make their money.
Right.
They're not bureaus. They're agencies. They are for-profit businesses that sell your data. Okay. So your credit score is I want you to think of it like this. Your credit score is just your reputation.
Okay.
Your credit file is your resume.
Okay.
Now, I'm from Georgia, so I'm going to talk to you in cornbread English.
All right, I like it. I like that English.
Your credit score just says this is what they say about you.
Right.
Your credit file is how you got to that point. Okay. So when the underwriters are the people that issue you the credit cards, the lines of credit, the loans, an underwriter's main job is to find out how to say no. That's their job. They have to protect the company's finances and money.
Okay.
So they're looking at the resume and they're looking at the reputation. But the resume is the most important thing. Okay. I know people focus on the score, but I promise you they look at how that score was obtained.
That makes sense.
If you're going to get a job and you had glowing reviews, you had glowing reviews, that's what people are going to look at. That's what underwriters look at. So I said all of that to say our job is to go and look at your resume and fix your resume so that it is reflective of who you are. Everybody, and underwriters included, have life to happen. We have a client now that had a mortgage for 28 years, never had a late payment. Unfortunately, she lost her husband. She made a late payment.
Right.
It tanked her credit score by nearly 100 points.
One payment.
That's not right. And so when she contacted us, we went to fight for her.
Thank God.
Her credit score is now 105 points higher. But we had to go and fight because you can't affect my resume because of a life circumstance or situation.
Right.
And unfortunately, algorithms and bots can't see life.
Right.
So it's very important that we position ourselves. So that's why we use the law. Because the one thing that's not in court is an algorithm. The one thing that's not talking to the judge is a bot. There's a human being there. And so our job is to get the law involved and get lawyers and myself, we get involved and we contact the legal representative and we have a chance to have a human conversation. And 99% of the time when we have a human conversation, it's resolved. And so in this case, it was resolved. So that's primarily the largest thing we're seeing now is that everything is being automated using artificial intelligence. Everything is being done with algorithms, so humans are taken out of it, but that's not real life. In real life, life happens.
Yes.
You have emergencies. That's not indicative of who you are. That is that specific time. So I hate for people to feel bad about their credit and they feel judged. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to say, hey, life happened. This happened to you.
And let me fix your resume, right? So Becky has a story. She has a personal story. I already told you guys my story, but this is one of the clients that Gennaro and Rob have just recently helped. It's one of Becky's clients. You want to quickly say, because we only have 30 minutes, y'all. So we got to wrap this up, and I want to get to the key point, which I can't wait to tell my clients, but go ahead.
No, all I have to say as far as that goes is he is not kidding.
Yeah.
People, he is not kidding. I feel like he pulled off the impossible with my current client right now. He never made her feel judged. Mm-hmm. She did some things that she thought was going to repair her credit. Right. It did not. It kind of actually had the reverse effect. And what he did in record time, I really do feel he pulled the rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, and she's telling you this because her client needed to buy a home and was told she would never be approved for a home. She was told that by multiple lenders because of her credit until she got with the dream team.
Oh, yeah. I will not.
And that is me, Becky, Gennaro, and Mr. Anthony, okay? And Gennaro and Rob are a key part of making the dream happen. Okay, credit, that's where it is, you guys. So with all this being said, I'm pretty sure that my clients and my listeners right now understand that you and Rob. Well, Rob, we got to bring Rob in, and I'm going to bring him in just a second. But you are extremely knowledgeable when it comes to credit. Okay, and they also understand that you use lawyers, and you've already said that we use the law. So I know that their wheels are turning. They're thinking, my God, how much would this cost me? Obviously, the man can get the job done, but I'm excited because you and Rob have something that you're rolling out. Because obviously, if you're getting, lawyers involved, it's going to cost. But at the end of the day, how much is it costing you to have bad credit? Okay, I'll tell you right now.
So much more.
Since Gennaro and Rob helped me with my credit, even my camper payment went into half. Half of what I was paying. I was at 13% interest. But because of them, I just got it dropped down to 4%. That saved me hundreds of dollars a month. Just that one account. So with that being said, Gennaro, what are they looking at as far as, go ahead and roll out your information, and then we're going to bring Rob in.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is something it's never before been done in history. This is a brand new program, and Rob worked on this, and it's finally together. I'm gonna let Rob tell you about this new program that makes everything affordable. My issue, I spend a ton of money, and he yells all the time because I send process servers, and I don't use the mail. I want to use a courier. I want the sheriff to deliver it. I want to really have a big impact.
Right.
And so he's found a way to help our clients improve their credit and also make it affordable, and it doesn't kill us to do it. So I'm gonna let Rob tell you about his new program.
Awesome. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Monique?
And just for you guys, let me introduce Rob. Okay, Rob is all things business, honey. Listen, once Gennaro gets your personal credit up, the next step is your business credit. These men have covered all the bases. So that's the thing, you guys. They're going to hold your hand the entire way. So personal credit and then your business credit with Rob. But go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm the fun guy, so just know can't spell funding without fun. I'm the fun guy. But first of all, Monique, let me say this. We will never do another interview unless you introduce us, because we've been spoiled by that introduction.
You deserve it, both of you.
Yeah, we'll never do another interview without you introducing us. Okay, so
I'm your hype gal. I'm your hype gal, but
it's
not hype because it's the truth.
Put you on retainer, okay?
All right.
All right. So the name of the program is called the Prosperity Pathway Program.
Oh, I like that.
And we also, we call it 3P around here, but it's the Prosperity Pathway Program. And basically, what that is, it is a program that we developed to assist our clients with being able to finance the service that we offer. But not only that, we've got a way now that we can report those payments to the Bureau so they can build credit as well.
Okay, wow.
So I'll say that again one more time in case you didn't catch it. So we have a way that they can finance. We almost at 100% finance approval rates for our clients. No credit checks.
Oh, good.
Flexible, affordable payments. And best of all, those payments do report to the credit reporting agencies.
Oh, good.
Which builds credit while we work on restoring your credit.
Double the help.
Double the help. And so you guys, they wear quickly too. Like I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. I got on Rob and Gennaro with G6 Services. And don't worry, they're going to say their information here once they wrap up. But these guys get credit scores from 580 to over 700. I've seen it personally myself in 30 days. Of course, every situation is different, but on average, you guys, 30 days, because they're dealing with the law. They don't just, throw letters at people. That's not what they're doing. And now they're telling us that they have a payment plan so that you don't have to hurt your pockets. And not only are you going to be able to do a payment plan, but while you're paying those payments, your credit is getting built as well. That's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. And more importantly, also, in addition to restoring the credit, we're focusing heavily on the educational aspect of it, of teaching our clients not only what credit is, but how to leverage that credit to invest, to budget the money, to create generational wealth. So that's a heavy part of it that we may not have done as much as before, but we're focusing on that primarily now, just to educate our clients on what to do when your credit gets restored. Yeah. That's a big part of it. And a lot of people we see on social media don't even focus on that part of it all. And that's a whole part of it.
Right. And what happens, Rob, is that once you guys get, you get all happy when you get this credit over 700, Absolutely. And then you go buck wild and you lose the credit.
Absolutely.
So what was the point?
And we've all done it. We've all done it. So there's no shame, there's no judgment. But yeah, we have to do better. We have to understand the opportunity that credit allows us to do, not only for us, but for the next generation.
Absolutely.
We have to create generational wealth, and it starts with us.
And it starts with credit.
Right?
and that equals G6 services, okay? So you guys go ahead and shout out your information if they're interested. They want to get a hold of you and get this process started. How can they reach you guys? Because I've got to wrap the show up.
I'm gonna give you my phone number because we're gonna put people on a list because I want to call them. We want to talk to them before we just sign them up so they kind of understand what they're getting into.
Right.
So they can call my number 770-231-1078.
One more time, Gennaro.
770-231-1078.
And if you missed that number, guys, don't worry about it. You can always text me. My phone number is all over the website for KUNV, but also at the end of the show, it's going to be said, but it's 702-984-3700. Guys, he can help you in any state, okay? Any state, he can help you. So it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter. They can help you and assist you with your credit. What is your guys' website?
Our website, www.g6legal.org.
All right, www.g6legal.org. Now, I have to go ahead and wrap the show up, but you guys, they're part of the Dream Team. They are part of the team. So if ever you have forgotten or maybe you got out the car, you didn't catch the number, you can reach out to me. I will get you into their hands and we will get this process started for you. And even if you're not buying a home, it does not matter. I will get you into their hands and get their information or get you to them so that they can help you start building wealth through, first of all, starting with that credit, right? Guys, thank you so much for coming on, Rob and Gennaro. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
You're very well. Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
All righty.
All right, you have a good one.
All right. Have a good one.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, and if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan, and I've got my lovely colleague, Becky Coins, on with me. Say hi, Becky.
Hey
again.
there.
702-984-3700 is the phone number. 702-984-3700. WelcomeHomeWithMonique.com is my website. Guys, we are so excited. I'm fired up, okay? Me and Becky are fired up, right?
Absolutely.
We have been getting so many phone calls from my buyers from KUNV. I love my listeners, man. You guys are awesome. There's so many different amazing people that I'm meeting through this radio station for like the last 4 years. 4 years, all of them amazing people. So I want to congratulate, or we want to congratulate Joe and Bibiana. They just went into contract. We have Mark. He's going to be closing on the 12th. Joe and Bibiana are closing on Halloween. They called us, 2 weeks ago?
I think so.
And how long did it take them to find a house with you?
Not long. We went back and forth for a day or so. I think we only went out and showed the one day.
Yeah, and they slam dunked and got a remodeled, beautiful home. And Ruben, congratulations. So those are the three that are in escrow right now. Let me tell you guys something. I'm excited and I'm fired up because for the first time in 2 years, I have clients that are taking advantage of down payment, zero out-of-pocket programs. All right, I am in a unique position, like I have been telling y'all over and over again. Right now, the window is closing. Becky, have I been negotiating closing costs from the seller?
Every time.
Every time, you guys. So zero out of pocket, many cases. We've got a client that's $17 out of pocket. I'm not going to say their names, but another client that just went into escrow, they're going to be zero out of pocket. We have like 3 clients right now that are going to be under $100 or even $50 out of pocket to buy a home. Why? Because right now, I'm negotiating sellers to pay their closing costs. And then they're using my down payment assistance program that takes care of their entire down. You guys, people are buying homes right now with my team, the Dream Team. That's what that's what Joe called me this morning. He goes, Monique, we were told no multiple times that we could not get a property. We had pretty much given up. I heard you on the radio show as we were driving, and I said, okay, I'm going to give it one last try. We got him approved in like 3 days. Right? 5-minute conversation, you guys. Anthony approved him. He thinks out the box. He doesn't think like other realtors, other lenders. A lot of them have very strict guidelines that they have to adhere to. And then a lot of lenders do this part-time. They don't know the ways over, around, and under. That's why my clients get approved, because Anthony knows all the rules and he stays up to date with everything that's going on out there, all the programs. So that is why so many people that have been told no, they call me, I get them with Anthony, they get approved, they're always shocked. And then Becky takes them out and looks at the homes. She's been slam dunking them into homes, finding them beautiful homes within a week's time. They're extremely happy.
Watching their faces when we go in there.
It's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why we do what we do. yes, I have to feed my children, but at the end of the day, like Becky said, Monique, I almost cried when
true.
I seen
It's
how
true.
happy they were. And that's what I love about what we do, especially when they didn't think that their home ownership dreams would ever come true. And Joe told me today, he goes, well, Monique, I've been listening to your show for a while. He goes, but I think people don't call because they just don't know where they stand. They don't know they think their credit is so bad. And people always have these misconceptions about even their own credit. I'll have people call me and say, oh, well, my credit is bad. And I'm like, really? What do you think your credit is? Oh, I think it's like a 600. I'm like, do you know that you can buy a home with a 600 credit score?
They don't.
They don't know. They think it's so bad. Veterans. I've had veterans call me and tell me that they didn't think they could buy a home because their credit was 620. I'm like, do you know that you could buy it 580? They don't know. 5-minute conversation, you guys. There's a lot of myths out there. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the myths. Don't believe a lender that told you couldn't get approved. Don't believe a lender that told you could only get approved for $200,000 because of student loans. Hello. 5-minute conversation. These are the things that have happened with my clients, and they're sitting in big, beautiful homes right now. I'm going to start having them come on the show, you guys, because it's one thing to hear it from me, but it's another thing to hear it from my KUMV listeners that have utilized my team to get into homes now. And Joe said him and Bibiana are coming on. They can't wait to tell you guys out of their own mouth, just how happy they are and that they're going to be in a home. Another thing, you guys, I've been seeing a lot of people purchase, a lot of my clients recently, me and Becky, well, a lot of the clients are going for manufactured homes. A lot of the communities have pools and they have lower HOAs than townhomes. So let me just go over this real quick with you. So right now you can buy a manufactured home for like $240, $260 all day long, and a lot of them are in 55 and up communities. You have some that are not, obviously, under $300,000, you guys. So let me give you an example. Manufactured home, $240,000. Normally their taxes are a lot lower than a townhouse or even a house, but I'll be honest with you, you're not going to find a house for $240. But $730 a year is the average for your taxes. $98 for your HOA, which is average for any home, right? $1,780 is your payment out. That's with the HOA. So
And you own the land.
$1,780. You own the land. That's the difference. Mobile home parks do not allow you to own the land. You have to pay HOA plus your lot fee. And that gets really pricey because both of those can go up and up and up. Townhomes. Yeah, you can find a townhome. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's say you find a townhome for $220,000, $20,000 less than the manufactured homes. Now, those taxes are usually about $1,200 to $1,400 a year. Your HOA is typically over $200 for townhomes. That's just how it is. So $225 is average for a townhome's HOA. So the manufactured home where you own a lot, you get the same amenities in many cases, the pool and all that. That payment per month with the HOA is $1,780. The townhomes payment with the HOA is $1,843. See the difference there? Okay. And you don't have a yard in many cases. Mostly, if you're lucky, you'll get like a small little and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing townhomes,
No, some people
don't want the maintenance fee.
No.
They don't want to have to keep up, and that's fine. So I'm just pointing it out to you guys. Manufactured homes all day long if you want to stay under $1,800 a month for a home. And, and there you go. And I want to keep that in mind. So if you want to just go ahead and get something, and remember, this is not going to be your forever home unless you want it to be, because many of my clients, they're like, hey, I can live here forever. This is, lower price per month. A lot of apartments cost more than this. And
Someone went in there thinking that it was going to be their little starter. I'm just going to get something. And they were like, oh, no, I'm good.
You know why? Because a lot of investors flip those manufactured homes. So that I just want to point that out. So you've got plenty under $300,000, 702-984-3700 down payment assistance program to buy a manufactured home. Zero, in many cases, out of pocket, you guys. As long as you use the DPA, which is a down payment assistance program that we have, all right? And then I'm going to negotiate those costs from the seller. Hey, we're going to work it out, all right? So the majority of my clients right now are spending less than $100 out of their pocket because that window is still slightly open that I'm able to get the seller to pay your closing costs. So just keep that in mind. Down payment assistance programs, their rates are not that high right now. It's a very unique opportunity. If you're looking for a home with a pool that's been remodeled for $400,000, 508 Sportsman Drive, no HOA, plenty of parking. 508 Sportsman Drive, $400,000. It won't last, you guys. With a pool, remodeled home, 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, $400,000, right across the way from Summerlin. 508 Sportsman Drive. You guys, if this message is not for you, it's for a loved one, a family member, or a friend. Please, if you want them to know about the down payment assistance program, 702-984-3700. I'm here for you guys if you want to list your property. I've been breaking records when it comes to listing properties. So if you need to sell the property, you can do so. Or maybe you live in a home and you want to buy a vacation property. Guys, it's only 10% down. Okay? So we can even rent out your property if you want to move on to a new, bigger, badder property. We can rent that bad boy out, and guess what? You only have to put 3.5% down. We are here to drop the nuggets. That's what we do, to educate you guys so you're not blind. I like to make sure all my clients know exactly what's going on through every every step of the way. So with that being said, until me and Becky hear from you guys, have a blessed weekend. We love you and there's nothing you can do about it.